Hello, my name is Nolan Bach, and today I'm going to be showing a script to go from Kerbin to its innermost moon called Mun. So I'll fire it up now. Alright, so here we go. So the strategy is pretty basic. I'm going to get into a orbit of Kerbin and then circularize it, then do a Hohmann transfer to the Mun. Once that's done, I'll get to the periapsis of my encounter with the Mun and slow down so as to circularize the burn. Then once that's done, I'll, from the apoapsis of the Mun orbit, slow down enough to get the periapsis onto the surface of the Mun, and then attempt to land. And looks like where the sun is going, and that I'll probably intercept that way. I'll probably end in the light side of the moon. If not, then the lights toggle on, so I'll still be able to see the landing. Just won't be able to see the ground for as long. But that will be a good demonstration, if it comes to that, of the fact that we don't really need the light at all. Alright, so for now we're just getting the apoapsis up to 100 kilometers. Then, like I said, we'll get the periapsis up to 75 kilometers, then circularize it so they're within 10% of each other. Then we'll go from there. So I'll be able to warp around to jump past some of the more boring parts of this burn. The second, it's hard when we're under acceleration and also when we're establishing burns because it kind of messes up the physics of the game. I'll go to 2 times, which I think is the physics limit. But again, we got kind of try to go to 4 times. A little bit of a wait because I don't want to burn until I'm a little closer to the apoapsis, which will probably happen around 35 seconds. Alright, so I'll slow it down right about now. And then the burn will start at 35 seconds, I think. Yeah, there we go. So now we're trying to get our periapsis up. So as we see it gets to 60 seconds, we'll stop again, and then wait for it to get back to 35. Oops, that was too fast. Overshotting a little bit there, but that's okay. We'll still get into a stable orbit. So there's a periapsis, just got positive, but needs to be above 70,000 to be outside of the Kerbin atmosphere. We're just, again, getting these burns higher and higher. Just trying to get something stable. So now we're stable, but I actually have the limit set at 75K, so we'll have to endure one more burn, which is the most boring part of this. Yep, there it is. Cool, now the next thing we're going to do is try to get the circularization burn. So it looks like 109K is where it will be, separated by about 53 meters. A pretty quick burn, half a second. All right, cool, there we go. Looks like it's about 200 meters instead, but that's okay. Now, what happened there was after we did our circularization burn, we calculated the Hohmann transfer and put a note on. So this is the Hohmann transfer trajectory with our encounter with the moon being 77 kilometers. I'm going to let the nav ball get to the maneuver node before I warp to the time. So we won't have to wait the entire 20 minutes, but if I don't let the nav ball get to the maneuver node up here and get locked on, then it will have to do it over here, and sometimes it misses the window and the encounter gets a little messed up, like we get too close or too far away or just miss it entirely. So I'll let the maneuver get there, get locked on, and then it will stay locked on through the warp, which will be pretty nice. So after this, we'll warp to the maneuver node, execute the maneuver, glide all the way to the encounter. Then we'll start orbiting the moon. It'll actually be like over here, but we'll hit the periapsis and do a capture burn to slow down. So almost at the maneuver node. We'll also up here say waiting and then waited. Yeah, cool. So now it's just waiting for the burn to start. So I'm safe to go ahead and speed it up. Yeah, see, now you can see the maneuver node is being tracked. Otherwise it wouldn't have gotten over there. Yeah, there we go. So now we're at the 40-second mark. So we'll try to equalize the burn and I think probably do it at like the 9-second mark. Then you got a day-long wait. But I'll kick the warp up pretty high. So there's the Mun. One day we'll go to Midness. Not today. Alright, so now we're firing off the burn. You can see our apoapsis getting higher. And then we'll see a bunch of like overlaid possible trajectories in a second as we like actually hit the encounter. I think we're going to stage soon, so we'll stop. Yep, stop, staged. Now we're going. Awesome. Oh yeah, so our actual periapsis is 73K, very close. And now we're just waiting until we get to the encounter. So I'm going to zip us over there. Yeah, like I said, I think if the periapsis is on this side, the way, the way it's going to work out, I think we'll probably get on the light side. Looks like oh yeah, it looks like we definitely will actually, which is nice. So yeah, like I said, the next maneuver we'll do is going to be without a maneuver node, actually. It will just be at the periapsis, do an orbital burn until we're at a certain orbit around the Mun, then wait till we're at the apoapsis to use the least amount of fuel to burn into the moon. And then once we burn the periapsis into the moon, we'll just glide over there and start our descent burn. Which will be the interesting part. Oops. It's kind of fast. It's scaring me. It's too fast. Don't want to fly past the periapsis because that'd be really bad. Beyond an escape orbit and kind of no correcting it in the computer sense, at least within this script. I guess there'd be a way to correct it, but you'd have to probably get back in a stable orbit of Kerbin. I think this is probably just going away forever. All right, so the burn will start at 35 seconds. So again, I can speed it up a little. Probably go to normal speed at a minute or so, just to not take any chances. Yeah, so I think we'll definitely be on at least a part of the moon that's somewhat light. which is nice because we'll be able to see what's actually going on. It doesn't really matter to the landing all that much, although I guess it would be nice to just land in like one of these non-craterous places. That's probably wishful. Where the computer doesn't plot a landing based on the things below it, it is like pretty resilient. In the worst case, it will roll. Yeah, here we go. So now we're starting our circularization burn, or sorry, now our capture orbit, our capture burn. So we've been captured. Now we're waiting, I think, till that's under 200,000. Yeah. And now, so we can see we got the apoapsis on the other side. So I'm going to go over there and then burn into the mun. And again, the reason I'm doing this is just to save fuel, but it worked out pretty well this time during this launch that we're going to be on the light side of the moon. I've landed a few times on the dark side of the moon. It's more confusing from the viewer's perspective. It doesn't really change anything. I think it might, this is kind of anecdotal, but I think it might be a little more mountainous, so it makes the landings a little less smooth, kind of like more rolling and less upright landings. So far, like 80% of landings I've done have been upright. Let's see where we get luck of the draw a little bit here. Hopefully not in that current canyon. Yeah, oof. Yeah, almost got there. All right, no big deal. Should be able to still get a pretty good landing. Yeah, so lights toggle on during landing because of the times that I landed on the moon without lights. It's almost impossible to see where you are once the thrust turns off. And even when the thrust is on, if you're more than like 5 meters above the ground, it's really confusing to know where the ground is. You kind of just see shadows, and they're all hills. That was scary. That's way too fast of a warp. And they're all hills, so they seems like you're going to be landing on like the world's biggest mountain, the Mun's biggest mountain. I got to stop warping so much. I'm getting distracted. We won't actually start a burn until 2,000 meters, so we got some time to kill here. Yeah, so this altitude is the radar altitude. Yeah, so there's a big difference, actually. So I guess under warp, the radar altitude doesn't work. But this is the radar altitude, and this is the altitude as measured by the ship system. Looks like we're still heading for maybe in the crater now. A little nicer. We can try to see if Kerbal Redux Engineer has a guess of where we're going to land. Didn't look like it yet. I guess we missed their window for the optimal landing, so that's okay. We'll start our burn now to slow down. So at 2,000 meters, we're burning at full thrust to get down to an airspeed of 100. Hey, maybe we'll land right in there. That'd be kind of fun. That, to be honest, would, or no, it's actually, I was going to say that might be a roll landing, but that actually doesn't look that steep at all. Those ones might be, but I don't know if maybe I'll get over there, who knows. It's hard to see, it's hard to understand how far you're actually traveling in these, because, yeah, so it thinks we're landing right there. That's pretty awesome. That worked out really well. Yeah, it looks super flat. Usually if you can actually see the bullseye, that means it's extremely flat, because even on like inclinations like this, you only see half of it. So that looks like an awesome landing area. I'd like to say that was by design, but it's not. I made it so it's pretty resilient to landing anywhere. I haven't blown up in many a try on both sides of the moon. I shouldn't jinx myself. But I know that some scripts can actually just pick a vista or a valley and set down there, which is really nice. I mean, this is, like I said, I really got lucky here. It's completely flat. like I said, I think the light side of the moon they made a little easier to land on. Kind of makes sense if you think about it, because that's like the one people are usually going to want to land on. So now these burns are a little scary because they slow down a ton. So you see the thrusters go off, you get a little scared that something got messed up, and it's actually right there. My heart stops every time. Um, this throttle isn't accurate. There's a bug in the KOS terminal window where sometimes the last number you added is just still there, so probably much lower. Again, still kind of hard to get the perspective of how high we are. 27 meters, so I guess like 90 feet. But it's like a pretty good landing spot. Can we see Kerbin from here? No. The Milky Way, or whatever they call it, you can see pretty well, which is fun. All right, so as we slow down, we're trying to keep our airspeed below 1. That's just what we'll be on as we get closer to the ground. And then we'll kill airspeed as we touch the ground. See a little success message. Yeah, there we go. Mun landing. So that's it. That was the from the launch pad all the way to the Mun. All right. Thanks for watching.